Hello and welcome. My name's Marie and this is my yarn journey. Today is a traditional podcast episode, so I'm going to be talking about the knitting that I've been working on in the last fortnight since the last podcast. I've got all my whips laid out in front of me and I'm going to go through them. I also want to talk about some of my plans as well. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to talk about is a finished object, because we have one finished object. Well, I'm classing it as finished. The ends aren't woven in and I've not blocked them yet, but that will be done this weekend. And I had so much fun doing these socks, and I'll pop a picture up here of how they look on my feet. Bearing in mind they've not yet been blocked, but this is the Summer Faded Sock tutorial by Summer Lee, and this is how they turned out. Now, the first colour I used on here was the leftovers from a yarn that I was gifted at Christmas from a friend, Mona. She made me a magic surprise ball. I can't remember the official name of them, but basically she put lots of different little gifts inside, and in the very centre there was actually a Christmas bauble with a couple of minis in, which was lovely. So I knit a pair of socks. As soon as I was gifted that, I started them because I was so excited to get through and get my little gifts out of the ball. And then I had quite a bit left over. It was a significant amount anyway. So I decided when I was looking through to look for minis or leftovers to use for these socks, I decided to use that colour first, then a purple, and then this white one. Now I think I showed that in the last podcast, so you'll be able to see them properly, but I've got hardly any left. I've got nothing left of the first colour that I used. That was pretty much all used up, so I was really pleased about that. And then the minis have pretty much gone as well. I've probably just got enough left out of both of those to do a pattern repeat on my blanket, an incredible blanket. So yeah, that's the faded socks. And the tutorial, she does a tutorial and she does a video of her process and doing I think it was 3 different socks that were faded, but she talks about in the video about how to pick your yarns and everything. I'll just go a bit closer so you can see the colours better. I just thought these 3 went lovely together, and I'm really pleased with how they've knit up and how they fit. And I liked the way that she did the toe on these, because she left a few more stitches remaining, because I don't have a massive difference from the top of my big toe to the top of my little toes, not a massive like curve or slope some people have, so it makes more sense for me to have a few more stitches left at the end. And I do like the way this toe fits. So yeah, that's all good. And I've got her book, so I think I mentioned that last time. So I'm looking forward to trying a lot more patterns from her. And this is 48 grams out for yarn for May. So in total I've got 148 grams out, which is good news. Okay, next I need to talk about whips. And I have got 1, 2, 3, 4, I think I've got 5 that I've been actively working on in the last fortnight. I don't think I've worked on any others. So the first one that I want to talk about was my main priority last week, This is my So Faded, not So Faded, oh sorry, no, that was the finished object I've just spoke about. This is the Feels Right Tea by, I can't get my words out today. This is the Feels Right Tea by Lily Kate France. There, we did it. Honestly, just try and get this a bit more so I can show you. That's the back. Okay, so this is how it's looking at the moment. As you can see, I have, since I last saw you, I think I've done the collar, because what I decided to do, if you remember from last time, is I decided to knit until I'd finished the ball that was attached on the body, and there's just this left, and I've stopped at the midway point. Oh crap, sorry, almost a disaster there. So I'll just sort this out. Knitter's problems, I didn't have it right. I'll just get some stoppers to put on there. I think I've got some in here. Oh yeah. Sorry, I should have done that before I started recording, but I really don't want these stitches to drop off while I'm talking. Okay, there we go. Right, so yeah, as I was saying, last time I decided that I was going to knit the body until I ran out on my first skein, which is what I did, and that's got me the length that you can see there. And then after I finished for the body, I decided to do the collar with the next ball of yarn. As I said, I've not alternated the skeins or anything like that with this, because I just wanted to see how the colour would do on its own. Now I think you can see a slight no, that's from the first. What is wrong with me today? Right, let's continue. Okay, so basically when I looked at the other two skeins, one of the skeins was significantly different to the first two. Well, not I say significantly, it just appears to have a lot more blue in the top there, if you can see. When you open it, it'll probably be just the same, because these two have been pretty similar. Anyways, I decided then, once I finished the first skein, to start the second skein by adding it to the neckline, which is just a very small ribbing. And then I decided to do the sleeves as well before I joined it on for the body. Now, looking at things, what have I got left in here? Currently I've got about this much left. I'm thinking that I'm probably going to get this out of two skeins, which will be fantastic if I do, because then whatever's left, I'm hoping to make myself a pair of socks, because I really, really like this yarn and how the fabric turns out with this. But as you can see, I've finished the first sleeve and I'm now on with the second sleeve. I've not really done much on it this week because I've been working on other projects, but hopefully, fingers crossed, I will get this finished next week, because I am off next week because it's half term, so I'm off with the boys. Yeah, I really do think that this is looking nice, and also the pattern as well. I said it last time, but the pattern is very, very easy to follow, very enjoyable. You know, everything's described, and I just do like the construction of that top. Be nice to have a finished object for that one. And again, that's in the lovely bag that I got from the Woolly Good Gathering, and it's still in there. Okay, just get another bit of my coffee. Sorry, I just seem to be a bit, I don't know what's wrong with me. Maybe it's the weather, because it's very gloomy and rainy, and has been all yesterday. It did nothing but rain. I think it has stopped raining now, but it's so gloomy and dark, so you know, Maybe that's got me words all mixed up. Okay, so the next work in progress that I'm going to show you, just got this in my Woolly Good gathering bag, and the reason I've got it in this one is because this whip is the Skrabucket, and I was working on it for my whip of the week last week. Because if you haven't seen my shorts or reels, I've decided that to get me working on my older whips, I'm going to commit to doing whip of the week, and I pick one whip and I work on that for at least 30 minutes every day. And this is the one that I did last week, and I made quite a lot of progress on, but the point I'm at in this is really, really easy stockinette in the round. So I thought, pop it in this bag and then put it in the car, and I can do it when I get to school for school drop off and school pick up, and I'll get a bit in each day then. And it's not something that I need a pattern for at the moment. I'm just knitting until I get to 16 centimetres. So the Skrabucket, if you don't know, is a knitted project bag, and you knit it in a very similar way to the Musselburgh hat. So you start off with a small little tiny cast on, increase until you get to a certain size, then you do a purl bump, and then on the one that I'm doing anyway, you knit for 16 centimetres, and then you create these welts, which you can then make a I-cord drawstring to go through. Once you've made your welts, you then knit the other side exactly the same, and then do decrease on the other side and close it up to make it into a double layered bag. So one colour will be your liner and one colour will be the outside. Now what I've done with my welts is, the welts isn't hard to do, but I did have a few false starts because basically you're knitting them down and you have to line them up. And when I was doing my picking up of my stitches on the first welt, I kept doing it and it wasn't in line. So I did it a couple of times, and then I realised that the other thing was my lifeline that I put in and my contrast yarn, it wasn't contrasting enough, so I couldn't see it on the other side either to see which line of the stitches to pick up on. So it did take me 3 or 4 attempts, but I got it in the end, and then the other side was a lot easier. But what I did with my second side, and I would say I'd recommend this, and probably what you can do is, if you want your bag to be all one colour, you can knit your first half of the bag as the liner, join in your next colour, and then do both welts in the next colour, and then continue knitting for the outside. And that would mean that, if you can see from this side, that the welt and the main body would then be the same colour, even though you're using 2 different skeins, and your liner would be totally different. And that's probably the way I'm going to put it, but I didn't think of this when I was first knitting it. But yeah, I am thinking of having that one on the outside. But as you can see, after the welts, I've done about this much now, which is over half definitely, because that's where I'm knitting to. Really enjoying this. It's a fingering held double or DK, so it does knit up quickly. What size needles am I doing this on? Oh, 4mm. So yeah, and I think it's going to be really, really nice once it's finished. And I thought what I'll do is I'll carry on doing this in the car, although next week, because I'm off, I may not really have much car knitting time. But I'm going to knit that until the point when it decreases, and then I'll bring it back inside again. Yeah, so I'm really, really pleased with that. It's turning out nice, and it's going to be a nice project bag. And also I'm using up 2 of those random skeins that I hadn't decided what I was going to do with. Next project is in my Willow Bay bag. I love this one. And yes, this is my whip of the week from this week, and I must admit I haven't done as much as I should have on it. I'm supposed to do 30 minutes every day starting Monday. Monday I looked at it and I just didn't have the motivation to do it, and then and I was working, I was quite busy, and then Tuesday was my partner's birthday, so we went out for the day and I just didn't. On Monday I did do a new cast on, which I will show you, and that's taken up most of my attention this week, so you know, and that's knitting up very fastly. Anyways, back to these socks. These are my first colour work that I've ever done. First colour work. I've done mosaic knitting before, which is my advertent blanket, which I will discuss with you after. But I've not, and that's just if you've ever not done mosaic before, that is where you're only using one strand per row and you're slipping stitches. So this one is two-stranded colour work, as you can see. It's a lovely heart pattern. As soon as I saw this sock pattern, I fell in love with it. But like I say, this was what everyone picked for me to do for whip of the week. And I didn't get around to doing it until yesterday. I did do my 30 minutes yesterday. I've only done a few extra rows on it. But there may be an issue. And I'm not 100% sure what to do. I think at this point I am just going to carry on and finish them and then make an assessment of them once they're finished. Because I really just can't think about pulling that out. I'm hoping that it'll block enough that it's not a problem, because my colour work, I'm a bit of a tighter knitter, and my colour work, although I absolutely love this, it looks really, really pretty. I have made a couple of mistakes on the back. Luckily it is on the back of the sock, and it is noticeable, but I don't think anyone's going to be looking that closely. But that's not the issue. The issue is, now when I put my hand inside the sock here and I stretch it, it stretches really, really well and then bounces back, and so it looks like a decent size. But I tried to put it on my foot yesterday when I was deciding whether to do any more on the leg or not, and I got it on my foot absolutely fine, and I got it to near to my ankle, but I wasn't sure that it was going to give enough to get round my heel. So that's kind of made me feel a bit fed up about it, really. But I don't want to rip it back. You know, I've had them on the needles a while now. I really do just want to get them finished. What I was thinking was I decided yesterday I'm going to do one more repeat of the heart pattern, which is two rows of hearts, 8-row repeat, and then I am going to do my heel, and I'm going to continue on with the socks, and I'm going to get these finished. And I'm going to block them, and I'm going to hope that when I block them they do stretch out just enough for me to get them on, because I absolutely love the colours. It's a sparkly black, which I think is a Regia. I don't know if I've got the thing in here, just let me have a look. Oh no, it's West Yorkshire Spinners. Night Sky it's called. It's one that I saw Laura Penrose knitting with and really liked. It is a lovely yarn. And the other one is For the Love of Yarn. It's my main skein, my Christmas Day one from my Advent last year. And yeah, it's knitting up lovely. It's turning out exactly how I expected. I have enjoyed the colour work, although obviously I've got a chart that I need to follow. It's not massively difficult. I'm just not motivated to do them at the moment, and like I say, with thinking they're not going to fit me, it does put you off a bit. But I'm going to carry on, commit, and I've done my 30 minutes today. I did them before the school run, and I am definitely going to be doing my 30 minutes every day until Sunday. And like I say, I'm definitely at the halfway point almost, so I really just want to carry on and get them finished. I just do find it frustrating with socks, you know. I'm still learning with them. I'm still deciding what my best fit or size is. You know, I may be able to do something at the heel point, just to make sure, because when I did an afterthought heel, I made sure I added, I think it was 3 or 4 rounds in before I did the heel on those socks, and that made it a lot easier to get the socks on and off. So with the heel flap and gusset, if I can do something similar, I don't know at which point I would adjust the heel, but if you can let me know in the comments, that would be great, because you know, I've got tomorrow's probably 30 minutes to do before I'll be starting the heel at the weekend, so hopefully some of your suggestions will help with that. Oh, sorry, postman's here. Okay, I'm back. So that was the Dolci baci socks, and I'll put the designer's name and information on the side here, because I'm not really sure, I can't remember what her name is. Okay, so the third whip, and this is a brand new cast on. This is a test knit for, let me just check, it's Lorna, I know her name. It's just, I always forget, I think it's Thread and Yarn, which is her channel on YouTube, and have I got it on here? 1 second, sorry. This is in this absolutely beautiful, I've not got anything with that, beautiful bag, which is Tea, Cake and Make. Really, really pretty fabric, and it's so cute. It's got these little nice drawstrings, and then it has a little bit here where you can attach your progress keepers, or you could put a strap on there, a wrist strap. Now this is a test knit for Lorna, like I said, and this is Fallow Socks is the pattern, I think. Got it here on my iPad, so I'll just check. Yeah, it's thread and yarn, and the sock pattern is the Fallow Sock, and it's got this lovely little pattern on the top. It's the first time I've done this, and I think she said it's dandelions, so it's supposed to be them floating in the air. And I'm part of her Patreon, so I offered to test knit these for her. I did check with her first that she was okay me doing them 2 at a time. Now I think these are due to be done on Tuesday, so and there was only a requirement for 1 sock, but I like to knit my socks 2 at a time. The pattern is only on the leg section. The rest of the sock is like a traditional vanilla sock sort of thing. So I've done 1 row here. Now I think there's maybe 3 or 4 more rows with these patterns in. It was a bit of a challenge in the beginning because of my tight knitting. Trying to do these little stitches, and I've never done anything like this before. Yeah, my first one, oh there, I don't know if you can see, but compared to the others, my first one was very, very tight. But Lorna's instructions are so good. There's full written instructions with photos, and there's a video you can follow along with, and the combination of those two makes it so fantastic to follow and do. And also I'm knitting these in her 100% Corriedale naturally dyed yarn, and it's this lovely like dusky orange colour. I'll show you the skein. It's like that. And yeah, I've made quite good progress on them since I cast them on, but like I say, that's going to be a focus for me probably tomorrow and Saturday. Definitely I'm going to try and get those finished for the end of the weekend, get them blocked, and then I can send off the photos to Lorna, so she's got all the information. But yeah, the pattern is written fantastically, all the details in there. I mean, definitely beginner friendly, I'd say, because of all the extra details she's put in there. Okay, now this, I can't remember who's done this bag. No, this is one I got off Etsy, and I think it's something in skulls, but I can't remember, but it's a lovely fabric. This in here is a brand new cast on, and I'll get the information up on the screen so I can tell you what it is. This is the Sabai top, and I'm doing the number 2 version. I think you get 1 and 2 in the pattern. This was released on Friday by Paula Strict, and I've been eyeing up this pattern for the last few weeks. I saw it on Instagram and I was really looking forward to it coming out. And I knew I wanted to cast it on. I was tempted to buy yarn for it, but I did manage to find some in my stash, and I'll show you what that is. And it's the Rowan Summer Light DK, and these come in 50 grams, and it's Egyptian cotton. It's a DK weight, and does it say, gosh, the writing's tiny on here, it's 130 meters per ball. It's a lovely yarn, this, really nice. I got this last summer. Now I did start knitting something else, and I can't for the life of me remember what it was, and I know that I had 2 separate dye lots with this because I bought some that was on sale in Abercam, and I didn't quite have enough for what I was wanting to do because I didn't realise it was DK when I bought it. So I even though it says on it, I didn't realise I didn't have enough. So when I found the top I wanted to do, I needed extra, I just ordered some online, but I couldn't get the same dye lot. But anyways, that what I decided to do was alternate the skeins. The colours look so similar to me, I've not noticed a difference, but I still decided to alternate between an old ball and a new ball, you know, different dye lots, because I only had 2 different dye lots. And but when I ended up frogging the other project, I just wound it all up into cakes. I had a couple of balls left over because I didn't finish that project. I didn't like how it was turning out. So this top, I'm absolutely loving this. It's been so easy, pretty much mindless. Even the increased sections have not been hard. It's like, do this for so many rows. You know, I've only been knitting flat at the moment, which I do enjoy a bit of flat knitting, but when this gets in the round, it's going to be so easy. I don't know what the finishes are yet on it because I've not looked at that, but I have, I'll hold it up a bit for you. So I have done the front, I'm just working on the back now. Looks like it's going to be a good size. It's very stretchy anyway, and very drapey fabric, really soft, going to be lovely against my skin. I just hope that it's not you know, too see-through, because if I want to wear this when it is sunny and hot, I'm hoping to wear it without anything underneath, and you know, just a bra, which will make it more usable throughout hotter days, with it being, is it 100% cotton this? Just let me check. Does it even say on here? Yeah, 100% cotton. I thought it was. Because in the pattern I think she uses like a linen blend. yeah, so I was quite glad to find this in my stash and be able to use it. What do you think? Does this colour suit me? I'm not 100% sure, but I'm enjoying knitting up the garment, and I hope to join it in the round very, very soon. I think I've only got about 4 rows to do, and then I think I'll be joining it in the round, and I'll be able to at that point try it on and see what the fit's like. It does seem very, very stretchy, but it's lovely and soft. Well, this is the project that's been taking all my attention and time, really. I cast it on Monday afternoon. It's now Thursday morning, and this is what I've got done. Oh, I didn't say, did I? I'm not using the recommended needles for this pattern. The recommended needles are 4. Now, I'm starting to notice that for me to get gauge, generally I need to go up to up by 0.25, and I've chanced it by going up like a half. So instead of 4mm, which it recommends, I'm using 4.5. But if it is just slightly bigger and drapier than what's recommended in the pattern for this type of basic top, I don't think that's going to matter. I would have used 4.25, but in this Licky needle set you don't have one, which I didn't realise. And I was out with Mona when I was wanting to cast this on, having coffee. But yeah, lovely, lovely, lovely project. I'm enjoying the process so much, and I don't need a lot of brain power to do it, basically. And I think that if it does fit nice and look nice on, I think it will be a great staple, and I'm sure I will make a few more. With the #1 version of that, you do have a bit of ribbing on the top and ribbing on the bottom, so it might be quite nice to try both versions. But yeah, I don't think there's much more to say about that, but it's good to be using up some stash from that I got last summer. I think I forgot that I'd bought quite a few on impulse, just bought some reduced cottons and stuff from Abercan, and I don't even know if some of them are really my colours, but yeah, it's nice to be able to use them up. I sorted out my yarn storage cupboard the other day, and it's still working on sorting it out a bit more, but it meant I could get everything out. I literally emptied the whole cupboard and reorganised it all, so it is a lot better now, and I know where things are, which is good. So that was my last work in progress that I've done anything on this time. I just want to talk about a yarn acquisition that I forgot to mention last time, and this is was a sock set that came. It came with this bag, which I adore, and it came with this, which is Wild Rose yarn. Sorry, the labels come apart and it's like wanting to fall all over the place. But this is a set which is 3 times 20 grams of the lilac, and then 1 times 20 of the rose petals, and then 1 times 10 grams of the spring green, and it's a merino nylon 4-ply 75/25, and it's for doing a sock pattern, and I don't think I'll make. I love these colours, and I will definitely make these into a pair of socks, but I'm probably going to use them for something out of my new Summerly sock book, because the pattern was lovely that came with the box, but I just don't fancy it for me, and it's colour work again, and with the problem I'm having with the Dolci baci, I don't want to start doing a complicated colour work and then it not fit me. So I think I will. I adore the colours, but I think I'll use these together to make something from yes, Summerlee's book, because I think it'll work out really nice. And that's 90 grams in for my stash. Okay, so the next thing that I want to talk about is my bingo, because I've not really talked about that recently, and I haven't really been focusing on doing much for it this month. So what I'm thinking is that for June I'm going to focus on doing things that will help me get closer to crossing off my bingo squares on here, and I'll put it up on the side here so that you can see what I'm talking about. I have actually, out of the 9 bingo squares, I have managed to cross off 2, which is knit 6 pairs of socks from Stash Yarn, and take part in the winter set knit along. So they're 2 that I've already done. Now some that I am going to try and do this month, sorry, in June, because we're not in June yet, are we? So I would say that because one of my squares, sorry, I do this all the time, don't I? Think in their mind and don't say, and go off on another tangent. So I'll start again. On the bingo square, on my bingo card, although I say I've not done anything towards it this month, not intentionally done anything towards it this month, I have actually, with my whip of the week, been working on whips from 2023 and some from 2024, but the ones that are from 2023, part of my bingo is complete or frog all whips started in 2023. So just by working on the whips, that is doing something towards my bingo. But next month I want to be a lot more intentional, so instead of my whip of the week, I think I'm going to do bingo focus of the week, which will really help me then think, right, what can I do that's specifically going to get me you know, to completing this bingo card by the end of the year. Now I'm already working obviously towards using as many leftovers as possible. It's unlikely that I am going to reduce my stash, but you never know. So for next month, I think I'm going to commit to working towards 3 of these squares, or even 4, because yeah, actually I might do 4, because then I could do a different square each week and keep it interesting. Like for whip of the week, do my 30 minutes every day towards a bingo square. Now there's a 4 that I think I really want to do. So I can work on Dwayne's sweater, which is my partner. I'm doing him a single malt, and that's quite far on. It's well over halfway. So I could work on finishing his sweater by one of the weeks, using my 30 minutes every day to work on that. Then another one I thought I could possibly do next month is knit a pair of slippers. So again, I could use my 30 minutes every day, cast on my slippers and start working on them. Also, I want to, I'm trying to get this blanket finished by the end of the year. You've seen this before, and I don't think I've done any progress since you last saw it. But I thought that I'll move this up so that you can see if I do get any progress, because that's what I showed you last time. I think I worked on it a bit. And if I move this up now, I won't forget. And then we'll know next time if I've done any. If I can get it on. 1 second. Yeah, so one of my squares on the bingo is to get this blanket finished. so I could use 1 week using my 30 minutes. Now I was actually thinking that with me being off next week, I might actually crack on and get a bit of this done next week. So this might actually be my whip of the week next week, but then I will use the one of the weeks in June to work on this. Each of the sections is anything up to 150 rows, and I'm only about halfway through on that, so I think I'm working on clue 6. So I do need to crack on if I'm going to get that done by the end of the year, and I really do want the finished objects. I think it'll be lovely. It will actually, even though it's not a lap blanket or anything like that, it is like this fancy shawl thing. I think it will be really super cozy and nice to throw on me over the sofa to keep me warm. And the final square that I was thinking I could easily work on is to use up, now it's not that, Mona's given me this to use for my edgings because she used this in her Tolster tea. I think this is Cascade Heritage. But these minis that I've got in this bag, now it's not all of the minis, but these are minis from my Alice in Wonderland advent from last year. And I had picked out a load of these, and I think I've already told you about this. I picked out a load of these to do the brioche shawl. Most of these are caked up. I've just got about 4 in the bottom that I haven't done. And I am going to, I've changed my mind on what I'm going to do with these. And I have decided that I'm going to do a t-shirt with them. Because I really like my Tolster tea, the stripy version that I made with my spring box colours from Lay Family. Even though they're not my usual colours, I do really enjoy wearing that, and it's just quite fun. So I was thinking to myself, I know that those yarns didn't work for the brioche shawl that I was looking at, but I think they might work really well for another striped t-shirt like that. And one of my lovely viewers has suggested a pattern, and I think this will be cast on next week at some point while I'm off. And I'll just tell you what it's called because it's in my queue on Ravelry, and it is one I'd seen before, but it had gone right to the back of my mind, and I was like this with it. But once I'd decided to do it with these yarns, I was just like really excited then. And it's the Rocket Tee, and that is by Tanis Fibre Arts. It's an older pattern from May 2020. It's a V-neck, and it's a striped short sleeve tee. And as you know, I am on a journey here of trying out lots of different t-shirt patterns to find the ones that I enjoy the fit and the style of. So I've got go-to patterns for knitting during the summer seasons. I do like knitting t-shirts, and I never thought I necessarily would, but it's just so nice to be able to knit something and have it finished so quickly, you know. With a sweater, it just seems to take forever compared to a t-shirt. But yeah, this one is fingering weight. The gauge is 24 stitches, and like I say, I am going to use the minis, and anything that I have left over I will just chuck into my blanket, and I'm just literally going to keep them in the same order that I'd decided on for the shawl. And I'm just going to knit the stripes to the length and just keep going basically. Yeah. I don't know whether I will do the sleeve, the length it's specified in the pattern, or whether I'll just keep it to the same length as my other Tolster. I don't know, I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. I suppose it all depends on the yarn, but because it is a V-neck and there should be enough yarn for the stripes. because you'll obviously have the bit of the V there, and those are going to be the ones that are on the sleeve, so you'll be using less yarn because you'll be working over a smaller circumference and less stitches for those sections. Hi, it's Editing Marie. I am just jumping on to say that I forgot to ask what you'd like for next week's video. I've got a couple of suggestions that I could do a knit and chat. I could do that either live, or I could do it as a premiere, or I could just do a knit and chat video, or I don't know, what suggestions have you got? I've got a few other ideas I could do, but I just thought I'd ask my viewers to see what they thought, and it'd be nice to get your suggestions. So please comment down below with ideas for future in between videos for when I am doing not the podcast, the week in between. Thanks, bye. Oh, and I think that's everything knitting and yarn wise that I wanted to talk to you about. Last thing that I want to mention is I have got back into reading and knitting at the same time. I do enjoy that, and I've just picked up a new book. Now I'm not very far into it, I must admit. This last week's been pretty busy, so I haven't had much time to read, but it's this one, and I picked this up at a lovely bookstore in Ambleside when I went for my mum's birthday. I love going in that bookshop. I always end up buying a couple of books, and I'm hit and miss with reading really. I listen to some audiobooks, but I go through spells where I'm into it and where I'm not. But when it's the nicer weather, I do enjoy sitting in the garden and having a read. But yeah, I'm very much enjoying this book, and it's just well, it's hard to describe, and you know, it's about it reminds me, it gives me the Hobbit sort of vibes, like a hobbity town. It's not that, but it's those sort of fantasy vibes, you know. And yeah, that's all I wanted to say today. I'm not sure how long I've been talking for, and there was an interruption from the postman, but hope you're having a wonderful week, and that you enjoy your weekend, whatever you have planned. Happy knitting. Bye.